Previously on Legends of Aelos, we rejoin the party at the Sleeping Moon Tavern, where a much larger than anticipated family reunion is taking place. Arel and Siora, Briar's parents, have come out into the main room of the tavern as Asher is lovingly greeted by his wife, along with the rest of the party being welcomed after their long journey. Emotions are high, though bittersweet in some cases, as the fate of Tambrin is revealed after he presents himself upon Briar's shoulder. Coria is saddened at what has become of him, but she is not without hope in that her father has undergone a transformation few have accomplished, and in a sense, her father has returned. After welcome greetings, Coria elects to take the remainder of the evening servicing the establishment off to commune with the rest of the party and family, and passes tending the tavern to her assistant Zagya, a female Moonlake elf. Karun immediately recognizes her as kin, and also takes notice to her fixation upon him as well, as they go about seating themselves. The group talks on their travels, and what many adventures have transpired since Briar and Karun departed from Arel to head towards Midcove. Karun also takes a moment to converse with Arel apart from the group. He informs the spy master of what transpired on the island, how his people, in their corruption, slew Tambrin, how they can be corrupted by a force emanating from the gems utilized in the creation of their phylacteries, and how these gems exist in more places than just the moonlakes of his homeland. Arel promises to investigate into this, though Karun beckons he keep his well-being first in mind, and to approach with caution. At this juncture, Karun cannot guarantee there isn't something amiss about the conclave itself. At the end of their conversation, before he returns to his family, Arel points out that Zagya has taken a particular interest in Karun, as they noticed her glancing over before retreating into the tavern kitchen. Karun pursues her as he's curious as to how she came about being here, but after she beckons him into a back storeroom, her intentions are made quite clear as she presses a blade to his throat. She begins to inquire as to why he has come here. Thankfully, Karun is able to lower her aggression with reason, assuring her that he is not here for her or to commit her any harm. He is able to coax her into confiding that she too has been at the conclave proper, but she had been cast out before properly becoming a farrier, exiled due to her questioning the voices that emanated from the phylacteries of the Covenant. Their reasoning that her questioning is a sign of weakness in her ability and resolve. He also learns that she is very much compelled by a crystal, the phylactery she'd escaped with, beckoning her still from where she had buried it many miles away. It really is a fortunate thing that Karun was able to calm Zagya, for not only was he able to learn of her plight, but he was also able to rectify the situation before Rowan enters, seeking wax and a seal from Zagya for the letters that he intends to post back home. Rowan is beyond delighted to have received responses from his family and lover, and is extremely eager to get message back. It has been revealed that communications between him and his home have been under extreme scrutiny and restriction, thanks to sanctions and filtering enacted by the local region lord of Rowan's homeland, a sad persecution motivated by a prejudiced disposition to Rowan's half-elf blood. A glimmer of hope came through in this correspondence, however, for information that the son of the regent is coming into power there, and because of this, these sanctions and this scrutiny might finally be lifted from his homeland. As the evening winds down, the party and their family members start to retire to their rooms. Asher has the time to speak in earnest to all that has happened to him in his journey, conveying his regret to his beloved that he could not save her father as he had sought, to how his adventures must continue, not only putting himself at potential more risk, but also their cousin Briar. Coria soothes her husband as she helps bathe and ready him for bed, and relays that despite all the risk and all the unfortunate events, she trusts, loves, and will always support him, and they embrace in their love. Briar takes time before bed to speak with her parents to update them on the state of the Temple of Light and their persecutorial ways. She conveys that it is not explicitly every member, for there are those amongst the temple that think with just minds rather than blind faith in the order. Still, preparations for more persecuted races to be driven out of the human lands for fear their lives must be made, and that the orcs themselves might be in need of assistance as well. She inquires as to what her father knows of the Shadowed Hand, and also give him a proper update on the most current events on aggressions between Zahath and Eswind. Admiral Phaethor's ship having been destroyed not in attack by Eswind forces, but rather a not-so-mythical sea god by the name of Abyssius. She does relent to inform her father of how she almost died at the hands of the masked man, but her father imparts his wisdom from a life surrounded by skullduggery and respects his daughter for what she did and ensures her that she is on the right path, but do not sway towards the allure of blind revenge, for fate tends to deem those that have something coming to them shall receive it in time. As she leaves her parents' room to retire herself, she encounters Karun on his way towards Zagya's. He informs Briar that she suffers in the same way as he, another Nermine that is compelled by the dark energy rested within their phylactery. He informs Briar not only for the keeping of his promise to her, but hopefully also to provide another element of explanation where he discovered leaving her room come the morning. Unfortunately, in the middle of the evening, Zagya is awakened, compelled by the uncleansed crystal still within Karun's bag. Luckily, she is composed enough to request that he leave, lest the temptation of the crystal provoke her to do something far more drastic. Morning comes, but with it, ill omens, for Dominicus and Karun both awaken with a soreness to their throats. Karun realizes that his magics are not effective on what he assumes is the affliction, even at its lowest of stages. He informs Asher what might be happening and meets with Ace in his bedroom. There is back and forth as more people awaken to discover what is happening, while Karun and Ace take measures to distance themselves from the others so as to reduce the risk of transmission, despite that it might already be too late. The two afflicted escape through the bedroom window and set off to a location that they were told of the night before, the boarded-up establishment of Amansar Alchemia, the apothecary who had been looking into this disease before his disappearance. It's on the way here, passing by the gate to the Fingers, that Ace and Karun see the worst of the blight, as a guard is overwhelmed by a group of infected, and with gnawing, gnashing teeth, a bite is ripped from the guard's flesh, as the portcullis is closed and attempts to bar entry into the hands. And it is from here we shall continue the story of the Legends of Aelos.